developments out of Afghanistan, where at least 800 people are dead and thousands are injured after a major 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck the country's east overnight. Yogita Lamai, with our media partners at the BBC News, has more on this from Afghanistan.
The area that is worst hit by the earthquake in the Kunar province is almost impossible to access by road, and that's why this has been a key lifeline today for the people in Afghanistan. These are helicopters that are being run by the Taliban government. At the moment, what they're loading them with is tarpaulin bags. We've been told that they're being used as body bags to bring back bodies. They're also being used as stretchers to bring back the injured, and they've told us that they've done almost 100 flights today. Thankfully, the weather's been clear, and so they've managed to fly these aircraft pretty much through the day today. We were actually trying to go to the worst affected area, and even we couldn't go beyond the point. First, there were landslides which had blocked the road, and after that, there were vehicles on a really narrow, tiny village road backed up for hours. So it's nearly impossible to get there by road. And so this a really crucial operation here to bring back the injured and also to bring dead bodies back.
And for more on this, let's now bring in CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer. Liz, what more are you hearing about what's happening on the ground in Afghanistan this hour?
Well, as you mentioned, this was a moderately severe earthquake, 6 on the Richter scale, but it occurred in a very remote, very poor mountainous region in eastern Afghanistan, near the border with Pakistan. The houses and buildings in that area are made of mud brick. And so in a shake like this, they've simply collapsed. Furthermore, because the earthquake happened at midnight on Sunday, everybody was at home and in bed. So whole families were and are now trapped under the debris. The government said an hour or so ago that it thinks at least 800 people have died and 2,500 have been injured. But that for sure is going to rise over the coming hours as more people manage to get out. As you heard from the correspondent in Afghanistan, landslides are blocking the roads. They're not only blocking the roads for people getting out, but also people getting in. Crucially, I just spoke to UNICEF. They are trying to get 15 mobile medical teams up into the mountain areas, into the worst hit areas, but they're having trouble getting through those bottlenecks of traffic, of people trying to come down to safety. So the numbers are going to rise over the next couple of days in a very, very sad situation because the Taliban government, one of the poorest countries in the world, just doesn't have the equipment or the personnel to deal with a major disaster like this.
Such a desperate situation. Elizabeth, thank you.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while learnt his truth, and also to the Ophilet that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is Afghanistan, deadly earthquake, death toll rises. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seen in the opening news clip that we seen that it had a major earthquake that happened in Afghanistan. So we know right now that the Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created. We know that this happened yesterday, Sunday. They said it happened Sunday around midnight, while these people was sleeping, while there was, in their security. And all of a sudden, death and destruction came upon them. So we constantly seeing these things each and every day, And one thing about it, we knowing that the Lord is constantly bringing it left and right. So, and also we seeing that these plagues are on every side. So I'm just going to read this news article. We're not going to go into it because I have other videos to bring it out with a little bit more edification. But we already knowing right now that this is very devastating, So when I ran that news clip, it said 800 and the death toll is rising. So this right here is more recent. It says here by this one here by Associated Press, by AP. It says rescuers race to find Afghan quake survivors, so as death toll passes 1,400 or 1,400. So right here, this letting you know that the Lord is not playing anymore. So we're seeing right now that judgment is constantly commencing each and every day. It's constantly what intensifying. It's constantly what increasing. And a lot of people, they're still coming off this Labor Day. It's still in a house of mirth, still playing games, but all the games about to be over. We seeing right now that these things are constantly picking up. I see right now, I seen Elder Manatas out of South Carolina. I think this first one I seen was him. Did a report on this. So the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of these impending dangers, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. And all about it, even though we sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. Earthquakes and in diverse places. Also we read upon war. Got war getting ready to go down in our own backyard. Between Venezuela. So a lot of things is constantly popping off. This right here. Lord already said these things will happen. So we seeing the signs of the times are here. We seeing right now that the end is being manifest. It's being revealed right before our eyes. We're living in the last days. It's time to seek the Lord. And also, once again, the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. Before we start some more videos, let's get a few precepts here. Let's go here. Let's start here first in second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. So one thing about it, what is that measuring rod? What is that measuring stick? It is what the Bible. So that's what we constantly doing through these scripture. We're measuring the time through these scripture. The timeline. Like when you go to Matthew chapter 24. You can go to Luke chapter 21, Mark chapter 13 to tell you what will happen right before the Lord, great and glorious return. So that's how we measure through the scripture. This wisdom is not this gospel, and out of the Bible, we seeing that we are very close. So redeem the time wisely, because the days are evil. We seeing it happening right before our eyes. These plagues are not slacking down. Verse 2 said, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So right now we seeing it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. How is the Lord visiting the earth that he created? What? Through earthquakes, through pestilence, through plagues, through these storms, through these tempests, all sorts of calamities and catastrophe, like a domino effect. The Lord is visiting the earth that we created. That's what we constantly warning through the eyes of the Most High. UFO sites are all across the world. It's no coincidence we're here. Verse 20. Salaki. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 20. And verse 3. Salaki. It said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So that's what we're seeing. Earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So it's a lot of calamities, a lot of commotion, a lot of earthquakes in diverse places, pestilence, a lot of a dark forecast right now. We're seeing this right now. Then it said, verse 4 said, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So one thing about it, these things right here was already been prophesied, that they're going to happen. So we seeing a Bible prophecy speaking loud and clear. All things will be fulfilled right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. The Lord is making these things happening. We seeing it with our own eyes. Verse 5, this is the point. It said, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and the end is manifest. So when you go into that word manifest, means it's more obvious and clear of something that's being revealed. So the end is being revealed right before our eyes. We're living in the last day. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. It's time to repent. It's time to seek the Lord, because one thing about it, the Lord is constantly bringing these plagues. Every day, something is constantly increasing. Earthquakes over here, a storm over there, war is constantly brewing. Things are picking up, uproars of the people, civil unrest. A lot of things is constantly happening. So now, let's get one more before we start today's video. Let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 8. Second Ezra chapter 8, and let's get this one right quick, So, I love Second Ezra because, these are the times that we're living. Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. Let's get this right quick because, a lot of people are walking in great pride and in great misery shall befall them. Let's start right here. Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50, it said, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, which in fact is now, shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride. So one thing about a lot of people are walking in great pride. They don't fear the Lord. They're constantly being coveted, self-will, that do thy will spirit, going in the ways of the heathens. You know what I'm saying? One thing about that mindset. And the Lord is displeased. And the Lord is constantly bringing these judgments each and every day. So now let's start today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. Now, once again, I hope that you will get edified.
Have you heard about what's going on in Afghanistan? Neither has anyone else. Over 1,100 lives have been lost in Afghanistan since the earthquake yesterday, and the world has barely noticed. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake has wiped out over 8,000 homes, and it's wiped out entire villages. Almost 3,000 people are currently injured, and rescuers haven't even reached them yet. Hundreds of families are trapped, literally digging through rubble to find their family with their bare hands. All this while media coverage stays quiet. Never there when you actually need it anymore, huh? Don't scroll past this. Share it and repost it. Drop a flame if you care about these lives, no matter where they're from. I know I do. Have some humanity today. Stay informed, not inflamed, and always vote like the planet depends on it.
نو 12 بجې وی بیګا چې زلزله شروع شو او ډیر سخت تجربه وکړ حتی چې زما خپل پرې پنډۍ باندې یو ستنم راولیدله د کور خو زه الله رحم وکړه د کور نه ووتلو خو زموږ د کور طبعا خپل 15 ورېرې او یو وراره او یو بل د بل ورور زوی نو و شهیدان زموږ د خپل شخصي کور وشول او یو بله ترور شهیده شوه او نور چې دی زخمیان او د مړو انتها بس
So now let's start today's lesson. So we seeing right there, we couldn't understand what the man was saying, but he was, telling you about the earthquake. But one thing about it that we seeing that right now is more devastation, more destruction that we're seeing from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. These things are constantly intensified. Things are constantly picking up each and every day. And a lot of people right now are still have a sense of normalcy, not paying attention to the signs of the time. And one thing about it, you're going to get caught up in this evil net very soon. We know that we're very close. So let's start here right quick. Just some random scriptures. Luke chapter 21, straight to the point. Luke chapter 21 and verse 11. Let's go here because this is exactly what we're seeing right here. It says here, Luke chapter 21 and verse 11 says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famine and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. So exactly what we're seeing, great earthquakes in diverse places right there in Afghanistan, all across the world. And the body count is constantly going up, so it's constantly increasing. Judgment is coming, you know what I'm saying? Left and right, we seeing it, with our own eye. We seeing more tribulation, more death and destruction, the beginning of sorrow, the birth pain, famines, it's already been rumors of famines each and every day. Pestilence goes into these plagues is constantly increasing throughout the world, fearful sights and great signs are there from heaven. So also we knowing about that Atlas Atlas 31, if I'm not mistaken, that object they constantly seeing. So that's one of those fearful sights. So the Lord is right here. It's constantly showing you he's visiting the earth that he created. Time is running out. So now let's go to this one here. Let's go to what's in, I think it's one in Haggai I want to get. It's one in Haggai, if I'm not mistaken. Just like I say, man, we're rolling in the spirit. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these things. Is and one thing about it, it's high time to awake out of sleep. A lot of people are still sleeping right now. Everything is gonna be all right, everything, still being a sleepyhead. I think this is the one I want right here. Let me read first. It says, for thus said the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. So the Lord is calling these things to happen. That's how I like that one. Hadn't been there in a minute. But just like I said, the Lord is doing a wonderful thing. We're seeing it right now. I mean, the Lord is constantly, getting your attention. A lot of people right now thinking that the Lord, is love everyone. Everyone can be saved. The Lord is not going to do this. He's not going to do that. One thing about it, a lot of people are getting ready to know, what I'm saying, who the Lord really is. The two-thirds, they don't fit the Lord. These heathens, they just running rapid right now. The heathens are raging, but the Lord is slowly putting these curses on the other nation, the one that persecuted us, that hated us, but we know that these curses will not be off us until the Lord great and glorious return. So let's read this once again. Haggai chapter 2, because the Lord is calling these things to happen. The Lord will not do evil. The Lord do good all the time. He love everyone. But yeah, you get ready to find out he's the king of terror. Let's see right here. Haggai chapter 2 and verse 6 said, For thus said the Lord of hosts, or the Lord of armies. He says, Yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. So the Lord is calling these things to happen. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created, man. I'm telling you, man, we are here. He's calling these great earthquakes to come to pass. And also, the Lord is got the power over life and death, who lives and who dies. So a lot of people right now is being unalive, left and right. It's one in Revelation. We get there and then we'll close out. So we seeing right now the Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created. I think it's 18. Revelation 18. No, so like Revelation 16. Let me slow down to just the spirit. And I think this was, I don't know, is this it? 16, Revelation 16 and 18, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get this one right quick, because the Lord, he causing these things to happen, these plagues. And there's one more I'm going to get and we're going to close out. It says, Revelation chapter 16 and verse 18 says, And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty and earthquake and so great. You know what I'm saying? So right there, it's letting you know, I'm just showing you this part, and this going into that destruction. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, man, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. I will read a little bit more, but it goes into other things right here, man, that, the city was divided, 3 parts, man. The Lord had fierceness of the Lord's anger, you know what I'm saying? But that's the part I want to get out of this. But you know what I'm saying? But it's a part of these plagues that the Lord is constantly bringing. You know what I'm saying? The earthquake was so great. So we seeing what happened over there in Afghanistan. That earthquake was a 6.1 earthquake. You know what I'm saying? It rocked that place. And a lot of these people, they don't, count. They're poor. A lot of them don't have the resources and the ability to. A lot of people still are trapped under a lot of that debris over there. So they got to bring in a lot of people from the outside. Some people, say it might be a rumor. Or it could have been they could have used this type of earthquake technology that they have. But one thing about it, we already know that we are very close, you know what I'm saying, to these things happen. The Lord is calling these things to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, we seeing that we are here, this great earthquake. You know what I'm saying? So, man, these things are right upon us. Let's get this right quick. Sorry about the rambling. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter 16. Second Ezra chapter 16. See. Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's see. I think it's in 16. We get this last one here. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37. Let's get this one right quick. We'll close out. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37. And it reads, said, Behold, the plague draw nigh, and are not slack. Verse 38 said, As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pain compass her wombs, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Verse 39, it says here, it says, Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So that's exactly what we're seeing. These plagues are not slacking down for a moment. They're constantly picking up left and right. And also we seeing right here, once again, it said the plagues be not slack. It said come upon the earth, and and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So exactly what we seeing left and right. These plagues are not slacking down. The Lord is not playing any more games. The Lord is filling the earth that he created. We seeing that the body count is constantly rising. We are right upon judgment. The Lord is filling the earth that he created. Let's get this last one right here. It said, verse 4, it said, Second Ezra chapter 60, Salaki. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 4, it said, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battles, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And who is the Lord's people? You know, what is Israel, Yasarella, which in fact are the Negroes, the Latinos, the native Indians. So I'm talking to you. You got to make yourself ready for the battle. What is that battle? Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. It's fast approaching. We already know that right now the heathens are raging. Also, the Lord said, first my judgment will start at the house of Israel. So right now, these judgment are constantly coming down. The Lord is constantly bringing it left and right. We're seeing that the vibration of the earth is changing. We're seeing right now that, the tables are turning. We're seeing right now we're coming upon a great time of trouble that we have never seen before. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Afghanistan, deadly earthquake, death toll rises. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.